Welcome back to Forsaken. This is part 13. We're on Munitions Facility. Life as a bounty hunter isn't easy these days, especially when you're either being hunted down by other bounty hunters or being targeted for extermination by the Imperial Theocracy, a crazed cult obsessed with crystals. Their killing machine, which they call Dreadnought, is currently undergoing repairs in an abandoned munitions facility. Ha, that's the name of the level. Taking this thing out while it's weak and exposed will hopefully get the Imperial Theocracy off your back for a while. So this is essentially Forsaken's boss level. Well, it has several quote-unquote boss encounters, but this is an entire stage dedicated to nothing but this giant enemy encounter. Except it's not really an enemy encounter. It's what you would call a gimmick boss. You're not actually meant to kill him, really. The game will force you to shoot at him, but it's an illusion. You never destroy him yourself. You use the environment against this guy. Now, what do I mean? Well, we're going to find out. I don't want to spoil too much for the upcoming, 5 minutes. This is a very short level. We're going to be doing another normal level after this because, I mean, it'd be a bit of a ripoff have you guys wait like a week for like a 5-minute video. I mean, come on. What am I? Oh, wait, I've actually done that before. I'm pretty sure. Well, sorry about that. So here's what's going to happen. You chase him, and you shoot him. Let's make sure that I'm actually shooting something that can actually hit him. There you go. He's going to drop those blue mines, which are a massive pain in the ass. Just keep pelting at him. You can even like let yourself die. You'll respawn. It's fine. I mean, as long as you got some extra lives, got a golden power pod. That's nice. Use the nitro to keep up with him. Yeah, I'm not doing great right now, but you know what? Just want to showcase just how pathetically easy he can be. Because honestly, I mean, hold on, I'm pretty sure there's some extra shield over here, though, that I never got because, well, duh, I was at full shield at that point. Yeah, there we go. Let's go get this. Just to keep myself alive for a little bit longer, at least legitimately, because there's no point in God mode in this stage. It really isn't very hard, considering especially that you don't kill him. Again, I must reiterate, this is not a traditional boss fight. What's really going to happen now is at some point, any week now, any month now, any year now, alright. Guess we're gonna have to respawn. Oh, get all my shit back, just like when you die in Minecraft and you respawn right next to your house. No, I don't know, I can't, I've already talked about this before, I can't disconnect that association where it's like, you know, dropping all your items when you die from that game. You know, it's not the first game to do it, clearly, but it's the one I associated most strongly with, so that's just how it's gonna be. It's funny how that works. You know, there's like, honestly, it kind of annoys me that stuff like, for example, the reason why I prefer Disillusion of Eternity, the Quake expansion, almost more than the original Quake is because of its art direction. It's got a lot more medieval stuff going on, which kind of reminds me of like a fortress built in Minecraft, especially when you turn the texture filtering off, and I get that that's not right. I mean, Minecraft came out 2009 technically, but really 2011. Quake was, you know, a couple years before that, just a few. Yeah, so just gonna keep shooting this guy, and there you go. Finally, we got the arbitrary message. So now what you do is you go all the way back. Not here. This is the opening of the level. Get as much random stuff as you can because you're gonna need it to survive. Although, again, there's no real confrontation here. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna go all the way over here. Whee! And now he's here, right? Here's what you do. You wait until he starts to cross over. I think you know what's gonna happen, right? It doesn't take a genius to figure it out, and he's dead. Fuck, don't die. Okay, there you go. That is it. That's the mighty Dreadnought. Just, wow. Nice. And after we've collected the crystal, oh, that's actually, it's a key, but I'm so used to calling them crystals, whatever. They kind of look like lollipops, actually. Head through the tunnel, head to exit, and that was it. That was the whole stage. 3 minutes, 50 seconds. Damn. You know what that means, right? We're going to keep going. Biolab, let's see. This large complex is home to dozens of untold experiments and creations of biological weapons. Nobody knows what they're doing. Oh, fuck. Nobody knows what they were going to be used for, but all that you care about is what's inside that might be worth looting. The DNA of these weapons should be worth quite a lot. Alrighty. So, this level I've also practiced because, well, you want to do that. It's not a very convoluted stage, but it does have a very interesting... I don't even know if it's a gimmick. I don't know. I'm not sure if it was an intentional thing the developers did or if it just happened because that's how game engines work. So, you know how the map... Let me just take these guys out first. Actually, fuck that. So, You know how the map is, well, like this, and you know, it's upright and everything? Well, later on what happens is just the way the stage is designed makes it so this becomes a little bit skewy. Like, you're essentially sideways half the time in the stage. Alright, you're gonna see what's gonna happen. So let's just make sure that we have collected as much stuff as we possibly can. What do we got here? So we got some more shields. Yep, orbital. All nice. And so, got the music here, and the music's really good, as always. It's got the one with the really weird bass line. Yeah, as you can tell, this game doesn't have a ton of tracks. I think it only has about 12 songs, yet it has way more levels than that, but that's what you get when you only have about 600 megabytes to work with. So, look what happened. Now, everything is weird, and using the minimap to navigate gets... well, it's not impossible or anything. It just kind of throws me off, and it's going to throw you off too, most likely. So there's not much different to the stage apart from that. Well, I guess there's a few more of those, you know, vents that you got to break through that there's almost no indication that you can break, but you just got to keep shooting them. Trust me, bro. Oh, and also, this level loves these kind of switches. Ooh, look at these aliens. I can barely tell what the fuck. God, that's like... Okay, I think that's why I feel like the art designers worked very closely with the enemy placement people, because it's like, let's put the interesting thing, and then an enemy, so while you're distracted, you get your face blown off. That's great. See right there? You're gonna have to go there. Well, not exactly. It's a good thing those switches can be activated via projectiles, because you don't actually have to come into contact with any of the electricity there. So we got a few doors here. We got this one, which doesn't open. We got this one, which also doesn't open. And we got one more door, which also doesn't open. Damn, they're all closed. Well, I'm pretty sure there's a solution to that. See, right here we got a little bit of shield, which is tempting. But I have the feeling that I'm going to lose more shield trying to get it than okay, whatever. Point is, you shoot this thing. And door unlocked. Ooh, doors, plural. Yeah, more than one. Which ones? Well, this one. Oh, yep, that one's open. But I think what's more important is that there's another one that's open now. Just take all these guys out. Yeah, you just noticed? Can enemies open doors as well with their projectiles? I wouldn't be surprised if they can, like, if the game doesn't discriminate between those different kinds of projectiles. So as you can see, we've got some more of these guys right here. More of the wall guys. And again, it's look at this. It's so weird how it's just all flipped. You get used to it eventually, but it does make navigating just like... It takes a few extra seconds for your brain to be like, okay, wait, hold on. So I have to go left here instead of the way I expect it to be. You hide the switch right here between these two. What? Okay, I get that you have to stay, you know, you gotta keep your eyes peeled. That's kind of the foundation of this kind of level design. But it is a little frustrating because, you know, ever heard of hidden in plain sight? You know, I've got a really fun story. And I mean, like, fun, but, like, it's recent, too. Recent as in it literally happened less than an hour ago. So, you know how in order to plug an electric guitar into an amp, you need this thing called a jack, like a cable, right? 6.35 millimeters, exactly. Well, I spent 3 hours looking for it, only to realize that the cable was sitting on top of the head of a plushie in my sister's room, because she needs it for school, because she's learning guitar too, which is pretty cool, because guitar is awesome. And I was just like, where the hell is it? I dug through like several drawers and just all sorts of bullshit in the house, and I found it. It was just sitting on top. I literally came up with this absolute jank-ass solution. Hold on, I'll continue that later. What you've got here is one of the few applications of the what do you call it, the transpulse in the game that's actually creative. So what you do is you select the transpulse. What? There you go. And you got to get essentially a trick shot. So you got to do something like this. Nope. Nope. Trust me, this is how you're supposed to do it. Nope, wrong angle. This one. Aha. And we'll eventually get it, alright? Just keep shooting, and we'll eventually get it. You just need the right angle. It might take a couple hundred tries. I got this on like my second try on my practice run. There you go, finally. Now you can go through. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, so I dug through a bunch of shit. I even, like, basically, I had a bunch of old dongles and, like, different attachments for different size jacks. So what I did was I took this 1.5, I think that's it, yeah, 1.5 millimeter. You can break this, right? Yeah. and I stuck a 6.35 millimeter on top of it, like just the end, and the crazy thing is that it works. I mean, the signal cuts out if you even look at it the wrong way, but it does work. You know, like it was able to communicate with the amp and everything and like get the tone coming out. It wasn't a great tone because it's just a little practice amp, but still, that was... Technology is incredible, because just when you think it's not going to work, it works. I mean, I guess the same principle as SLI or something like that. It's like, what? You're connecting 2 graphics cards? You're crazy. All with a tiny little ribbon cable? Yeah, that's how it works. Although, I don't know, is SLI still, like, the go-to? Because I've heard a lot of... I don't know if they're bad things necessarily, but it's not the most reliable thing. You know, it doesn't guarantee better performance, especially depending on the game and how well it's optimized for it. But, you know, if you feel like throwing away your money just like that on a second graphics card, why not do that? And then realize that only like 2 of the games you own actually support it. That's great. You know, something I've loved about these games is just how little they give a shit about trying to justify any of their art design. Because, like, you got these, like, weird alien-looking things in the tubes. God damn. This is a game from the 90s, so the character has to say damn. What the hell are these things? I don't think there's even a... Oh, yeah, deathmatch guy. Kill him. Kill him. Don't... I'm gonna have to God mode. I God moded. Sorry, fodder, for I have sinned. But I just don't want to fucking deal with this guy. Actually, let's leave it on until I get some more shield. But yeah, like... look at these things. No rhyme or reason. It's just like, well, it's some biological experiment. You know, and that's it. And then do you never bring it up again? Or do you just kind of use it as an excuse for you to collect stuff? It's like, okay, we have one DNA collecting level. The game's not quite long enough. Let's make a second one. Okay, well, why are we collecting DNA now? Well, fuck it. It's pretty much the same reason as last time, except now it's alien stuff. You can destroy this vent right here, which again, it really... okay, more... Yeah, this level has multiple deathmatch dudes, actually. I think it's the only one with more than one of them. Apart from, like, an actual deathmatch map, obviously. And as you can see, you get this thing called the Quantum Mine, which I have never used. At least I don't think I do. I'm not a huge fan of the alt-fires in this game, I'm not gonna lie. Not alt-fire, but the secondary weapons. Apart from, like, the really simple ones, like, you know, multiple fire rocket launcher and stuff like that, but... I don't know, the mines just don't kind of do it for me. I mean, during this playthrough, you might have, if you remember, I've actually had my ass saved by quite a few of them, so maybe I shouldn't complain about them that much, but at the same time, ooh, door open. This time, it's just via killing enemies. And this is essentially phase 2 of the stage. This is one of those levels where you kind of enter a threshold, and that's it. The level is completely different from this point on. So basically, you got this area, and yeah, okay, this gets a little bit crazy. So you've got this main area. Well, actually, it's more of a pair. Like, you got 2 different areas that you visit, and you go up and down, and you find stuff. That's basically how it works. So these right here, just DNA samples, gotta collect them, just like that last level on the prison ship, I think. The one that had the same sound effect in the background as Titanic from Revolt, which I don't think you guys ever heard in the Let's Play because it either never played, conveniently, or when it did play, I was talking over it, and I mean, I'm not about to mute my commentary just for one sound effect, you know, assuming that I didn't have anything important to say, which, to be fair, I think it's a little presumptuous to say that any of this is important, but hey, you know what? This is a Let's Play, and it's not a walkthrough necessarily, although with this level in particular, I did make sure to be a little more thorough. I'm not sure if I've got all the secrets or anything. This is not a 100%, and I can tell you right now, none of the games that I'm going to be covering in the future are going to be 100%. I just don't find that... I don't really consider 100% to be something absolutely worthwhile, maybe unless the game doesn't... I look at 100% in games as a... I don't want to call it a fail-safe, I guess, yeah, but basically something to, like, fall back on if, oh man, there wasn't enough content to justify the price, you know? And it's why I've never really understood some people complaining about certain games being, like, not as good, just because 100%ing them is not a great experience. So, hold on, I don't need God Mode anymore. There you go. Like, for example, actually, conveniently, Mario Sunshine, which I'm covering, you know, side by side along with Mega Man 11, and I've already picked out some of the future games I'm going to be doing. You might see in the future, unless I change my mind, but hopefully I won't. Sonic Mania, because screw it, I decided I'm going to do it anyway. Return to Castle Wolfenstein, I've got my reasons for that one too. And this one game that I've actually never played, I'm probably gonna have to play it before I do the Let's Play, obviously. It's called Sprawl. It just seems to be a typical, you know, run and gun, quote, boomer shooter, whatever you want to call them, with a really cool sense of style and this really interesting mix of, like, ooh, that was weird, where, like, the visuals, they look super modern and clean, but at the same time, they don't give off the vibe like they're super, you know, I mean, the system requirements aren't very high. That's not super relevant to me, fortunately. You know, I'm in a very privileged position to be able to say that, because I know for some people that is a genuine concern. But it's not about that so much as the fact that there's something really cool about seeing slightly fewer polygons on your weapon or something like that. It just gives it a real edge, like literally an edge, you know, because it's edgier. And I feel like things being a little too round and smooth sometimes can take away from that, you know? I think I've talked about this in Vivid Noise before, but it was more so about the sound design. It was in the Crash Bandicoot episode where I talked about how in Unreal Tournament 2003 and 4, I commented that I felt that the sound design didn't really do the weapons justice. And another thing is, I miss some of the more angular designs of the original Unreal Tournament. It's not like that game was, I really don't want to call it low poly. It kind of is, you know, because it came out in 1999, but it was pretty damn good looking for its time. Not quite as cutting edge as Quake Free, I guess, but at the same time, I don't know, there was a nice balance of smoothness and edginess to the weapon models, whereas the weapons in both Unreal Championship and Unreal Tournament 2003 and Unreal Tournament 2004, they all felt just kind of, you know, smoothed over. Like, they weren't edgy enough. Unreal Championship 2 kind of fixed that, except it almost went, I'd say, in the a little too far in the oh fuck, okay, so this right here, yeah, you've got a pattern you gotta follow. So you wait now, or you can just ignore it and just kind of, okay, you can skim through, great. The thing is, the weapons got a little bit Lego-like. I'm not even kidding. Like, some of the weapons in Unreal Championship 2 look just fucking bulky and weird, you know? Which is weird because, I said weird twice, nice. It's just odd, because that game came out in 2005 and is very good looking for the Xbox, by the way. It runs at, well, I'm not sure. You know, it wasn't even that long ago that I played it. But I think it ran at 60 FPS. I mean, you'd expect it to run at 60 FPS because despite it being a console game, it is like a competitive multiplayer shooter. I'm not sure if it had much of a competitive scene because, I mean, 2006, that was 5. That was a year after Halo 2, so I think most people were busy playing that. In fact, no, everyone was busy playing Halo 2 at that time. But still, the game was very impressive. You know what else surprised me? In terms of emulation, because, you know, I got a lot to say about that. That game is a fucking miracle, because the original Unreal Championship, which doesn't look quite as good and doesn't run as well, it just as it is, not even because of emulation, even on real hardware, that game has some serious problems. Well, I wouldn't say serious problems on XEMU, but, you know, some massive frame drops for no discernible reason, ridiculously long loading times, and some stages just don't even work. Whereas Unreal Championship 2 runs buttery smooth, at least from what I could tell. Looks better, you know, in general. Maybe, I'm not sure if it runs at a higher resolution. It probably stays at the same resolution, but it also has insanely fast loading times. I'm not even kidding. Like, the loading times on Unreal Championship 1, probably even on real hardware, to be honest, are, they're not Sonic 06 bad, but they're not great, right? Up to like 15 or 20 seconds. In Unreal Championship 2, you know, it's probably like that on real hardware as well, but, you know, on XEMU, it's like, blink and you'll miss it, you know? Super fast loading times, and I'm very impressed by that, you know? It's not uncommon for emulators to be able to take advantage of the fact that they're not actually running on the real hardware from 100 years ago, and, you know, to speed things up. For example, Sonic 06. If you emulate that, and if you don't feel like playing the, what was it, Project 06 by Chaos X, but if you feel like playing the original on a PC, you're going to get really, really fast loading times. I'm not sure about the PS3 version or RPC is free, but on Xenia, the 360 version, you forget that you're playing Sonic 06. It also doesn't, it barely has any slowdown at all. Although it probably depends on your configuration, but again, I'm lucky enough that I haven't had any issues with it, and you know, sometimes I play it. You know, it's funny actually, because the thing about Sonic 06 is that it's almost become an unpopular opinion to dislike it. Not just because of the excellent Project 06, which is, I don't want, everyone's like, oh, it's rewriting history. It's not rewriting history. You're not going to undo those sales records. That actually, funnily enough, the game sold very well. I mean, it was a platinum hits and everything, but because it's Sonic, of course it's going to sell well. You hit this, and actually, yeah, it activates that door, as you would expect. It's not even so much just thanks to the, God, seriously, I've already expressed my dislike of these fucking things. Like, come on, there you go. But yeah, it's not even so much the port. It's an excellent port, but even the original, it's like, I think it's more to do with the fact that it was the last of its kind. It was the last, quote-unquote, adventure Sonic game. You know, like, with no boost and no reticle on the homing attack. It's just a different formula. It's really interesting how, because the thing is, Shadow the Hedgehog was this really weird, like, using the Heroes engine to sort of make an adventure game, but if played very differently. I have an hour-and-a-half long video on it if you want to go watch that. And I was actually very kind on that game. I'm not sure if I would still hold the same opinion, but I do like it a little bit more than, I guess, what is the legal limit of how much you're allowed to enjoy a particular video game, because as we all know, that is a real thing. You will go to jail if you express any amount of positivity or negativity towards a particular title, right? Just ask anyone who has ever criticized any Zelda game from, like, I don't know, actually, I don't think people have taken that much shit for criticizing Zelda. I mean, Exoparadigm Gamer was quite harsh on the original version of a Zelda Ocarina of Time, and he's still alive, I assume. He hasn't posted a video in a very long time, though, and even though I think Game Mavericks is still active, which is like his second, like, Let's Play channel, I don't know, Zebros is fucking hilarious, though, and EPG Plays is pretty good as well. Okay, I think we've almost made it to the end of the level, because the exit is open, and I just need to find it, to be honest. I'm not sure if I actually know where it is exactly. I found it very easily in my practice run, but whether or not I'll find it easily now, that remains to be seen. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Just shoot the opening in the floor, expand, retract, and we're out of there. Alright, so that was part 13, I believe, of Forsaken. I guess I hope you found that boss guide useful. I'm sure there was already a boss guide before this. You know, this game is a little bit old. I'll be seeing you in part 14 of Forsaken. See you then.